Doom, doom, to doom, doom, to doom, doom, to doom, doom, to doom, doom, doom. Witchcraft, don't, don't, don't. It's that witchcraft. Don't. How's that song go anyway? Witchcraft. She's got that witchcraft, oh baby. So the other day, yesterday, today, this afternoon, I was thinking, the hell am I going to talk about on the show tonight? I always have multiple topics I like to kind of just toss in a pile, and then whatever strikes my fancy, I type and go in that I go in that direction, or basically whatever is affecting me and whatever's going through my crazy brain. I started thinking about curses. Am I cursed? How many people said to themselves, "Am I cursed?" I mean, you know what? It's like everything in my life is turning to dog shit all at once, and you got again, you know what I mean? And it always happens at once. Everything always happens at once, and you gotta just sit back and it's like, am I cursed? Is something. Did I piss off some witch? Probably. When you break up with them, they don't like that stuff. But this curse goes back way before any kind of you know witch dating. This goes way back. My great grandfather spit on a witch or did something stupid, or he broke up with a witch, and that was probably more like it. Ugh. But anyway, the hell was I talking about? Curses. See, you're cursed. Curses. So in Harry Potter lore, I like referencing Harry Potter because it scares the hell out of the Christians whenever you start talking about Harry Potter. They don't like that witchcraft. They don't like it. They don't know about. They don't. They everything that Christians do is based in witchcraft. So, so they just don't know it. Anyways, same for the rest of them. You turn that water into wine. You think that you think that the amazing magic of Jesus walking on water, bringing people back to life? That's pretty amazing, man. Witchcraft. So, what is black magic anyway? Black magic. It's a nasty term. I don't like attaching the word black and white to stuff. You know, I find it very dividing. So I tend to think that you can use magic for all kinds of purposes. You can use black magic to protect yourself, for instance, or loved ones and that type of thing. So when I hear the terms, I kind of use them loosely, and I'll use them for the purpose of using them for talking about it. I've known a lot of tacticianers and practitioners of energy moving around, and that's what you do. And like when I do my martial arts, it's like I'm moving energy around. I'm not just hitting heavy bags and flicking the swords around and doing all that. There's an energy and a core to the entire thing, and you're moving and drawing in and pulling and pushing that energy like it's toffee or something, and you're working it, or some nice kind of clay you want to work in and shape it into something, right? And that's what that is. So black magic, also known as witchcraft, part of witchcraft, right? Because witches will tell you that they use white magic all the time. So I was going to just call it magic, you know. So anyway, the usage of supernatural power for evil and selfish purposes, and to perform malicious practices to destroy someone physically or mentally or financially. Sounds like marriage. It can be done using the victim's hair, clothes, photo, or looking directly into the eyes. It is marriage. Practicing magic is not something new. It has been practiced since generations. And hence, we need to be very careful. So, you know what? That's true. You got to be very careful. That's my disclaimer. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, or don't do anything I would do either. You know what I mean? But if you think about your family or yourself, are you cursed, right? And then you have to ask yourself a few questions. Are you or your family a victim of recurring accidents? Kennedy, Kennedy's, right? Do you feel like you're being surrounded by bad luck all the time? I know people that say that. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Loser. That's loser talk. Are you feeling mentally and emotionally controlled all the time? Marriage. Are you losing out on jobs, occupation, or business very often? That could be black magic, or you could be someone who speaks your mind and they don't like that crap. They'll sell you down the river. Do you think you are harming yourself physically, mentally, or financially? A little self thing. Do you have constant feelings of unhappiness? Do you experience frequent financial losses? That's like Las Vegas written all over it. Must be a lot of magic in Vegas. Are you losing enthusiasm for life and often think of giving up on family? Is your relationship failing even after trying too hard? No, you gotta try too hard for a relationship. That's already failed. You shouldn't have to try at all. It just is what it is. If yes is your answer to any of the above questions, I think that you're a likely candidate for black magic. That somebody, somebody doesn't like you out there. You know, and it really is the long way around. But there are people that have a lot of free time and they're happy to make little like voodoo dolls, you know, and whatever. Instead of them watching Dr. Phil, they're gonna make voodoo dolls and kind of cast you out into that world. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna say it like this, okay, and then we're gonna talk about self-defense against the dark arts. Yeah, some Harry Potter like self-defense. I think it's like this, right? Misfortune happens to everybody at one time or another. It's nothing new under the sun when it comes to that. We're gonna have good days and bad days. If you are cursed, I think that you can. I mean, it depends on how perception and also how you feel. Your antennas for sensitivity. I like to think that everybody is sensitive on some level, and it's just some people push it out, some people pull it in, some people are more developed spiritually than others. Depends how many times you've been around the merry-go-round. So I don't know. When it comes to curses, there are subtle curses, there are complicated curses. I had have a friend named Jarena. She writes books about candle magic, and man, you can use those candles. You want a love spell, you can use a candle for that. You want to, get rid of negativity or whatever. It's not good to be malicious though, and it's not good to. I don't think it's good to exact any kind of revenge like that through any kind of energy or magical purposes, just because it's an open door that you don't want to open, and it's something that you just don't want to unlock because it's going to follow you. I'm just putting that out there like that. I tend to think that horrible people live horrible lives because they're horrible people and horrible stuff happens to them because they're horrible people. And if you get mixed up with one of those horrible people, it's going to flow right on to you. And then your life gets horrible. Their problems become yours. So there's that kind of thing too. But so let's talk about, how about we talk about using. First, we'll talk about using. Sure, you want to talk about using first, or you want to talk about defending? I don't know. How about the types? And you can figure it out for yourself. So, If it's the day-to-day curse, you don't want the big cauldron and all that. The one thing I loved about witches, dating witches, they're into rituals that includes a lot of cool stuff, sexy stuff, cool stuff. I like it. You're not going to find that in other religions, man. They're very boring, mundane. All they do is take your money and tell you that you're a sinner. To take more of your money. Really? So modern witches don't have the time, tools, or energy to perform such long curses. You got to work. You got it's a 9 to 5 life. Got to commute, maybe. So, but people do like their rituals. But when it comes down to a quick curse, spitting, right? Back in the day, they spit right in your path. There'd be some mean old lady from your neighborhood, puh, 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 right on you, in your path or on your legs. Be like, dude, grandmother got out again, man. You gotta you gotta lock her in that back room. Give her the yarn. Give her the yarn. So, so spitting is a form of a curse, of course, very powerful form. It takes some effort to work up enough saliva to spit. Major League Baseball players do all the time. And what about the people with that chewing tobacco? That must be kind of a bit. So something while not taking up a terrible lot of your time, you can work a lot of intent into a little action. Obviously, spitting on someone would be the most direct form of cursing them, but that's quite an inflammatory move and actually illegal. Not something you'd ever want to do in the United States of America. Maybe you can get away with it in Mexico. Maybe you can get away with it in Brazil. Maybe even Italy, since they all love to spit so much, and parts of the U.S., of course. Again, there's always a place for something here. I like to think. I don't recommend spitting on people though, but in their path, that's a mind screw right there. I spit, puh, and then they're like, "Damn, this person hates me so much they're spitting right in my path," and then they're like, "Wow, that's heavy, man." You don't know how to react to something like that, and you just spit back. That's usually how it goes anyway. So, but you can spit in front or behind or on their thing, you know, whatever. Spit, spit, spit. Door handle, car door handle. Ugh. It's also unsanitary. And we go from spitting to the evil eye. The evil eye, also called the Malokia, being cross-eyed or eye biting. It's a very common spiritual affliction. Some version of this phenomenon is known in nearly every culture. So it's widespread and it even makes an appearance in the Bible. In essence, the evil eye is an unintentional curse. It's funny these days, though. A lot of young people and people in general who live their lives on the internet are having a hard time looking at other people in the eye. Hard to give someone the evil eye when they don't look at you in the eye. Our society is going into this weird world of electronics where people don't communicate only in electronic form. So in essence, the evil eye is a curse, but in the Bible was an unintentional curse. Is anything really unintentional in the Bible? Well, why would you write it at that point? So this is a very important point. The evil eye is nearly always unintentional, they say. Because of this, the approach needed to remove it is very different from a curse. The evil eye happens when a person who has the ability feels a strong negative emotion, typical envy or jealousy, but is also occasionally angry. Oh man, I know people like that. You guys know people like that? This intense negative energy is projected into the person that they're feeling. Saying, yeah. You mean tell me unintentional, my ass, unintentional. Ha! I'll guarantee that most evil eye is 100% intentional. 99.9%, especially women in a room looking at you if you're in another room talking to somebody else and they see that you're talking to somebody else, but they don't like that. So they're going to look at you and give you the evil eye. And you know exactly what that means. And you also know the evil energy that precedes. So, yeah, I got evil eye from teachers, cops, all kinds of people, even dogs. The symptoms of this condition usually begin with a headache. If you get the evil eye, you'll get the headache, man, or COVID. Either or. Often a dull ache in the head can follow the encounter where the eye biting occurred. Uh, Give it about 10 minutes. Sufferers of this condition are also likely to experience fatigue, feeling mentally foggy, or suddenly becoming prone to clumsiness or dropping things or minor accidents. If you feel all that, you might have the evil eye, or you might want to get tested for COVID-19. Seriously. Prolonged or repeated exposure to the evil eye can also result in the more severe headaches or migraines, chronic fatigue, and accidents that become more severe as time goes on. Especially, see, if someone's messing you up and distracts you, and that's what you're thinking about, you're more likely to get in some kind of accident, to do something or chop a finger off while you're cutting up some carrots or something, because you're not focused. You're thinking about that person that gave you the evil eye. If you can decipher who is casting the evil eye upon you, you can protect yourself from them and relieve the spiritual ailment quite easily. Getting rid of the evil eye is quite simple. A cleansing bath is ideal, but using other cleansing methods might also work. You simply need to remove the negative energy that was thrown at you because it was not intentional, or it was, or be far less resistant to cleansing than an intentional attack would be. After this, you should take the time to replenish yourself with a positive energy. Maybe a margarita. Play upbeat music, eat food that you love and makes you feel good, some pizza, and go for a walk in nature. Practice any form of self love that you enjoy. Ooh, self love. Self love. What would life be without caffeine and self love? I don't know. I don't want to know. If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. Finally, using a protective spell or charm to prevent future instances of eye biting is a good idea. If you use an amulet or a talisman and it breaks or falls off, do not pick it up. This means that it has done its work and has intercepted the evil eye, picking up that transfer and energy to you. Replace the charm immediately, but do not pick up the fallen one. You just freaking leave it there for somebody else to pick up. Just leave the evil object on the ground and walk away whistling. And some kid comes along. Ooh, look at this. I found some jewelry. Woohoo. Yeah, those curses. So, but you don't pick it up. The particular spiritual danger can be quite unpleasant because the source is often someone close to us. While the evil eye can be cast between any two people, it's most commonly, I do it all the time driving down the road. Tell me you don't look at people next to you and give them the evil eye and they drive like an idiot. Or you just want to look at them to see how stupid they look. Or if they look as stupid as you think they look. Something like that. So whatever. Leave it behind. I got you. How about verbal curses? I'm good at that too. Also while driving, I can multitask. Quick verbal curses are easy and effective. There are many common sayings and phrases that really verbal curses, and many of them come from cultures with a history of magic and witchcraft. Like with me, I can say the F word probably a thousand different ways. And it'll have a thousand different meanings. I can craft the F word. I can take the F word, put it together with 10 other F words, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell you a whole story. You know what I mean? So let's see. The Irish are particularly well known for this, cursing at you. Yeah, that's true. So if you need ideas, that's a good place to start. Call someone who's Irish. Hey, hey, McGee, I got a question for you. Why do you always call me? You know the Irish people, they got an accent like they're always mad. They're always haggard or something. Even when they're saying nice things, they sound like they're angry. May you find the bees, but not the honey. That's a nice thing. That's a few examples of a verbal curse. This is very rated G. The crows curse on you. May the cat eat you, and may the devil eat the cat. Oh, poor kitty. Uh, may all your bacon burn. This person's a big foodie. Written curses. Some of these curses can fall under the same general category as verbal curses. Writing an ill intent on a slip of paper and stashing it near or your target can lend excellent results. A dead fish, too, in the mailbox, I understand, is also a definite message. So there are other forms of curses that can be written, though small curse sigils doodled on sticky note, dirty car window, walls, walls. Those little notes left in blood written on the wall, and so on and so on work well. But if the signal is made for such instances, writing one or two vindictive words can be enough to curse effectively. Well, yeah, because you're giving someone the message, right? I've gotten those. Someone left a message on my car, and it was a guy. It had to be a guy. It was probably a guy, and he was like, you effed my girlfriend. I'm going to kill you." That's exactly what you want to find on your car when you walk out to it. I called the police. They came, made a report, and the cop was like, "Who'd you f?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know, man." It's just very hard to figure something like that out at that time in my youth. You know, so never did find out. But anyway, but yeah, when someone leaves a nasty, evil note on your car, threatening murder against you, you definitely make a paper trail, because if that person comes around, if you say it, "Oh, I don't care about this," and you go bing, if that person comes around and you have to hurt that person, the cops aren't going to know about it. And if you make a paper trail and that person comes around and they get their ass handed to them, then the police will be like, "Well, you shouldn't have come around. You wouldn't got your ass handed to you." They knew about it and you don't get charged, most likely. Depends where you are. If you're in Canada, maybe they take all your rights away, but mostly you're in self-defense, right? Anyway, we can get away from that. So to get rid of any of these written curses, the best method is with a hex breaking bath. A good cleansing bath. A lot of people recommend that cleansing bath with like Epsom salts. So cleansing bath can not only remove energetic nastiness, but also spirits, spells, and curses, emotional issues, and much more. You basically want to ground yourself. I mean, that's what that's all about, really. They're basically the best multi-tool a witch could ask for. If you let's see, you can use them to prepare for magic or keep for yourself in general. What am I talking about? All right, whatever. I don't care about this. So long form curses. All right, the long form curse is what most people think of when they think of cursing. It takes more time. In general, well thought out, planned. Often requires the caster to hunt down materials to use in the casting. This is the form of cursing that most commonly involves tag locks as well. But you see, now this is me, right? This is what I'm going to say. And a tag lock, by the way, is hair, toenail, saliva, a photo, things that is super personal, right? If you put the energy into it, the material things won't matter. You can put energy into material things, But if you're looking to affect someone or protect yourself, or just have someone leave you alone, that type of thing, that is it's an energy that doesn't exist in these plain old objects, right? So, and cursing is no different from other forms of spell casting. I mean, there's many ways you can cast a curse as there are to cast any kind of spell. It can be ritualized or not. You can use all the components or not. I mean, it's really up to you and your energy. So, words, materials, actions, all that, you can definitely direct power through that type of stuff. But really, ultimately, it's what you believe and the energy behind that belief and what you direct, right? So, and same thing for objects, right? When you have, a doll, or you go to an antique store and you pick up some unintentional device or thing or whatever, and it turns out it was cursed or it had witnessed some kind of terrible event, and it became part of that. I went through the exact same stuff, man, with this fat pirate that I bought for my friend Jeff. So, and I asked him one day, it was just made out of like rattan and what else? Yeah, just kind of, it was small, a couple feet tall, maybe 2.5, and smiling looking pirate, all painted gold. And it was just cool looking. So I was like, hey, what do you want for that? And he's like, you want to buy it? Oh, yes. That's why I asked you. Give me $20. Okay. $20 sounds like a deal. Bought it, put it in my car. And he said it used to be a Santa Claus. And he painted it gold because it looked more like a pirate. So anyway, I brought it home. And the couple days I had it, the worst luck came into my life. And just the worst shit was going on. Worst, right? Oh my God. Everybody angry all the time. And you just feel the energy. I know that energy shifted when I brought that thing home. You can even feel it in the car when I was driving home. So I brought it back to him. And he laughed. And he's like, I'm like, you got to take this back from me. I don't want to. He's like, yeah? Why? I'm like, because it's something wrong with it. It's cursed or something. And then he laughed and told me that probably he sold it 50 times and people keep bringing it back saying that they don't want it because terrible things happen in their lives. So, yeah, he knew about it, gave me $20 back. Now I know about it. I don't know where that thing, it's out there somewhere. You know that? It's out there somewhere. And for some reason, his luck wasn't all that great either. so yeah, it's hard when you deal in the antique business. I'll tell you, you come in the possession of a lot of things that sometimes meant a hell of a lot to people, and then in their spiritual world, they can't believe their families liquidating everything that they own and love so cheaply. And then, they have these huge collections just go out the window. I'm told by certain sidekicks will say, oh, well, as soon as when you pass away, you don't care about that stuff anymore. That is BS. Let me tell you, man, if someone's connected to an object, they are. And I don't care what that is. I just recently talked about my good friend who had a haunted refrigerator, bought it from a dude who died. She didn't even know. She knew the thing was haunted. She knew it was doing all kinds of weird stuff. She heard all kinds of weird stuff. Hooked her up with a bunch of ghost hunters out there in the hell was it? Mississippi. Sent them in there, you know? So yeah. Oh, Missouri. St. Louis it was. So yeah, of course. I don't know. Nobody knows anything. That's what, including me. Nobody knows anything. It's only our experiences and what we can share about our experiences. I can't sit there and make all kinds of excuses or guess at what people do or what they're all about. I really don't care. Who the hell has time to figure out other people, man? I got no time. Figure myself out. You know what I mean? I don't figure out other people. So anyway, watch out for antiques. That's the essence of that. My little rant just there. I just gave you the antique rant. Stuff happens. And I knew enough to get the thing out of the house. You know. All right, anyway. Let's talk about how much time do we have? All right. I think we got some. All right, real quick. Self-defense against the dark arts. And self-defense and protection, right? And we talked a little bit about it, but okay, let's see. We talked about all that, how you're under attack, and maybe you offended somebody or angered someone in some way, which happens. People are easily offended, especially these days. You know what I mean? The energy in this world has shifted. It's really it's chaos right now. It really chaos. In the streets, in the cities, in the neighborhoods, it's chaos, man. And now there's war going on now and whatever. And it's just going to be more chaos. And there's COVID still going on. That hasn't gone away, but they're turning a blind eye to that. So that's going to be more stuff. So if you can find a comfortable place in all this chaos, you're perfect. You're golden. You got nothing to worry about. You know, you can look at the weary world and cry for it, but that's pretty much it. You can't change it. You know, everybody's got to act together to do that, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So let me see. Magical protection. If you feel genuinely that you've been the victim of a magical attack, the first thing that you want to do is protect yourself from further mischief. Once you've done that, you need to get started on removal the curse. I'm going to tell you there's the most simple method that I was shown a long time ago is that you surround yourself with white light. And I mean like a tornado, a twisty white light. And I imagine it going through me, out, inside, outside, through around all my cells and my body, everything, man. White light. And then I have it start going out and spreading out from that point and swirling around and then covering the entire area that I'm in, other people that I want to protect, the house that I'm in, white light. And it works every time. Feels like it anyway. So, but in this case, let's see, you can create a magic mirror spell, which bounces the hex and curse back to its sender. That's good for that evil eye. Walk around with one of those little hand mirrors to show people their nasty face. I've tried that. Man, do they get pissed off. They also get pissed off when they're in your face and they're rah, 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 like doing that, going off and go crazy. And you say, "Be gone, demon." And you make the cross in their face. Make the cross. "Be gone, demon." They get mad. They turn to that green pea soup coming out of their. Ah! All right. All right, you. Okay. You perform, let's see, working that real more. All right. Use meditation, Reiki, chakra, and other energy work to lift the spell. For general protection, most people use a simple shielding method. This is a psychic shell that one draws around themselves. You can do it either by casting a circle of protection and recharging it periodically, or you can charge an amulet or talisman with protective properties, like we talked about before. And if it falls off of you, you leave it. Right? The only one certified to play with an evil object is a cat because they can handle it. It's that simple. No argument there. This will be an effective way of protecting you in the majority of magical attacks. The Mormons have protective underwear that they wear. I'd like to find out more about that. I'd like to find out if I can make a whole suit from it. They won't tell me when they knock on my door. In fact, they run past the house now. they don't visit me anymore, the Mormons, but I used to ask them, like, what's that underwear all about? What's your underwear all about, young man? So they wear this protective underwear in the thought that if something terrible happens to them, including death, something terrible befalls them, flamed out by fire or some terrible thing, or they get their other limbs chopped off, they think that the underwear is going to protect their genitals so your genitals can live on and procreate, just the genitals by themselves. And I've never seen that. It sounds interesting. I'm sure there's some kind of hentai version out there of that, man. I don't want to know. You know? All right. Magical herbs. Oh man, that's you speaking my language, man. Magical herbs. You gotta love herbs of all types, right? And herbs have so many vitamins, so many minerals, so many things. Just in a little tiny bit of herbs you put in your food, and you get so much out of it. Cilantro, things like that, a mint. When I had my house, I had like 5 different types of mint. I had like chocolate mint and spearmint and some other types of orange mint, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, okay. Ooh. So acacia berries, right? Juice. I just bought some, which is awesome. Protects against psychic attack. Agrimony, useful for returning harmful energy to its original source. Basil warns negative magic. Blackthorn reverses a spell. Cayenne pepper returns negative energy to its source. See, just one taco, you can send evil back to hell. You know what I mean? Do a Taco Tuesday. Do it twice as much, man. Bring a friend. How about coffee? Neutralizes harmful magic. I'm realizing that everything I eat is kind of anti-evil magic. Dragon's blood resin for protection. Believe it or not, I actually have it. I buy the resins instead of buying incense like on sticks. I do buy the sticks, but I buy resins, and I use charcoal tabs when I really want to get roasting. You know what I mean? That's when you really celebrating. Otherwise, the sticks are fine. Hyssop, purification and defensive magic. Mugwort protects against astral attack and psychic attack in dreams. Patchouli returns harmful magic and makes you smell sort of okay when you really don't. Solomon's seal protects against negative energy. St. John's wort purifies and protects against psychic attack. Velivert uses a break of a hex or curse. Wormwood used in uncrossing rituals to remove hexes and curses. A lot of people would buy wormwood uh, and keep it outside their house over their doors. Put it with like a broom and have it over the door to keep out bad energy. Yarrow, the psychic protection, and the yucca prevents attack via sympathetic magic. And can't forget about tequila. Ward off the evil eye with some tequila. Tequila. So, magical crystals and gemstones. We got this Kathy Bilski on the United Public Radio Network. Even though she gets everybody kicked off YouTube all the time, she got like crystals the size of a car. And you think that would be robbing the earth of its beautiful treasures, and how humans can kind of just slink it out and just pull it out of there and have it for themselves. But they look nice anyway. Look nice anyway. So, but in the world of crystals, amber, right? Cheap stuff. You can buy it. I don't know. Amber, amethyst. Amber protects against psychic attack. Amethyst, same thing. Black onyx, same thing. Fire agate for protection of the aura. Hematite, used for protection against home property and fend off psychic attacks. I don't know. Quartz is good. Obsidian is good. Oh, yeah, rubies. Don't forget about diamonds. Diamonds open you up to an attack. Attack of what do they call that? Of engagement. Engagement. Damn it. Dang it. All right, so I'm gonna stop messing around. Let's talk about The 13 famous curses that's going to give you chills from head to toe. So, and these are curses that are ongoing. These are things that people don't even want to mess with because they're cursed and they know they're cursed. Look at the Hope Diamond, right? And no one's debunked it. No one has said, okay, no, they're not cursed. I mean, the more they try to find out about this stuff, the more they realize it is cursed. The Curse of the Hope Diamond, very famous. 112 carat gorgeous beauty was found in India, where it was supposedly stolen from the head of an idol in the 1600s. Already the story tells you that it's cursed. You don't steal the gem off the head of any kind of idol and think that you're not going to get cursed. So the priests of the temple, where the idol was housed, cursed the stone. It was passed into the hands of King Louis the 16th of France, where it was worn by the Princess de Lamballe, her name, and Marie Antoinette, who were both later beheaded along with the Louis during the French Revolution, where everybody lost their heads. Many believe that whoever is in the possession of the Hope Diamond will meet a gruesome death. Even the jewelers who kept the diamond in their shop died mysterious deaths. The diamond is currently on display in the United States, where people die. so there. about about the Madden curse. This one's funny, not funny but interesting. Weirdly funny. How's that? Not for the players, I'm sure, though. This is a one of its kind video game curse. Although considered to be an honor, some NFL, American Football Conference, National Football League, that's what NFL means. Then there's the NFC and the AFC. So, American, they didn't know that, did you? Because paranormal people don't know about sports. What the hell's wrong with you? So American football players resent being on the cover of their famous franchise video game Madden. Apparently, many athletes who have appeared on the cover of the Madden NFL game either have a horrible season afterwards or end up on the injured list and completely fade into obscurity. Michael Vick, Madden 2004, Donovan McNabb, Madden 2006, Sean Alexander, Madden 2007, Vince Young, Madden 2008, Brett Favre, Madden 2009, Troy Polamalu, Madden 2010, and Peyton Hillis, Madden 2012. All had unfortunate years after being on the cover. So, see? I don't know, man. I guess it's not good to be on the cover. That's the you're kind of saying no. Hey, you get to be on the cover of a video game. No. How about no? How about the Kennedy curse? Number 3. The Kennedy curse was set off with President Kennedy being assassinated in 1963. It was more, which still that people don't know today. People don't know today what the hell is going on with this, this John F. Kennedy. And then the Kennedy family. Think about it. How many people in the Kennedy family really, man, they ate it, didn't they? So, all right. Anyway, that started there. It was like a domino effect after that. Robert Kennedy was assassinated 5 years later in 1968. Ted Kennedy survived an airplane crash. And Ted Kennedy smashed the car into trees, killed Mary Jo Kopechne and her unborn child. And they covered that thing up. But that happened too because he was a drunken lush. And later, let's see, Robert Kennedy's son died of a drug overdose, and he crashed his airplane into the Long Island Sound, killing his woman and I think her sister. His other son died in a skiing accident. Oh, that was So JFK Jr. died in the airplane crash. Robert Kennedy's son died of the overdose. But also JFK Jr., who died in the airplane crash, they found drugs in his system, along with, let's see, Mary Kennedy, the estranged wife of RFK Jr., hanged herself. So yeah, there's a lot of something going on in that Kennedy family, right? You would think that they're well off, but they really aren't, are they? How about the Poltergeist curse? So one of the better horror flicks out there, everybody knows Poltergeist. The curse was pretty creepy. 4 cast members of the horror franchise died in the 6 years between the first and third film. Real cadavers were used as props in various scenes, and that's where the curse is attributed to. So, in case you were wondering how legit the film was, remember while filming, they were actually really scared. So, yeah, you take cadavers and you put them in a movie, you're gonna get some, man. I mean, that's really your testing fate, especially with all the magic and all the incantations, all the objects they were using, man. They were really putting that together. You think that if you don't call it, they're not gonna come? Don't be surprised when they do. How about the Superman curse? One of the most famous curses of the lot. This curse began because the original comic book creator of Superman cursed their own superhero after they were denied the rights and the money to the character. The Superman curse remains one of the most infamous curses of modern times. George Reeves committed suicide. Christopher Reeve became paralyzed after falling from his horse. Yeah, he was doing those jumps though, and whatever. So when he fell off during that, Dana Reeve, Christopher's wife and a non-smoker, died of lung cancer at the age of 44. Lee Quigley died in 1991 at the age of 14 due to solvent abuse. Margot Kidder, Lois Lane, suffered from bipolar disorder. Yeah, she went nuts, man. Her next door neighbor found her hiding by a shed. Go out there at night, heard some noise, and it was Margot Kidder naked in the shed. That's a discovery. Jerry Siegel and Joel Schuster were abused by DC Comics. Henry Cavill seemed to have broken this jinx an opportune moment, let's see, to say touch wood. I guess whatever that means. All right. The Conohor Diamond. A lot like the Curse of the Hope Diamond, but there is something else that sets it apart. Every time the Conohor has fallen into the hands of a female, it has resulted in bringing great fortune and luck in her life. But for every male who has ever owned the diamond, a terrible death lay in the future. Guess that tells you what the deal is about diamonds. Ain't that like a diamond? The 27 Club. Oh boy. So the fact that the 27 Club fell on number 7 is a pure coincidence because it's the seventh one I'm talking about. Or is it? 27 Club refers to the really famous and equally talented musicians who died at the age of 27, like Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, all of were very famous rock stars at the time. Amy Winehouse, who drank herself to death, was even more weird and bizarre about the curse that all of them, barring Amy perhaps, became famous at the age of 25 and then died 2 years later. So, how about the curse of 0888 Some things are too bizarre to explain, but can't be ignored either. This one fits as example. One doesn't really have cursed numbers until until and unless it's the wretched salespeople who disturb you incessantly. But an exception here is phone number 0888 This phone number has been the number of many people throughout the 2000s up till now, but every single person who has had this number has died. So some owners died of cancer, while other owners were shot to death or died in a gunshot accident. Is 888 the new 666? I wonder. How about the Iceman curse? Back in 1991, the body of an Iceman was discovered in the Alps. It was estimated that the body dates back to over 5,000 years. But after his discovery, 7 of the people who found him died over the course of 13 years, which would have been acceptable in natural cases, but none of them were. For instance, one person died in a car accident, another was killed in an avalanche, another died from accidentally falling off a cliff, another one from a blood disorder. So the Iceman curse is currently one of the most famous curses of modern times. Number 10, the Spider-Man curse. Even though most of us know only the Superman curse, it stands nowhere in comparison to the more recent Spider-Man curse. This one, not Hollywood though, it's Broadway theater and it involves the musical Spider-Man. Turn Off the Dark. Back in 2010, during rehearsals, the first mishap took place when an actor suffered broken feet and a concussion after a failed catapult stunt. Later, the stunt double broke both of his wrists. Sounds like they need a insurance agent on, on the scene, an EMT. On the night of the first preview performance, one of the main actresses sustained a concussion when she was hit in the head by a rope. She left the show shortly thereafter. Let's see. TV Carpio stepped in to replace her, but was sidelined for 2 weeks after sustaining neck injuries during an onstage battle scene. Then, in the most dramatic and widely publicized accident, a cord snapped during an aerial stunt, causing Christopher Tierney to fall 3 stories and crash into the orchestra pit. He went down. I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Right on the kettle drum, god damn it. Dun, 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 boom. So what happened to that web that the guy's supposed to have, man? Stop him from falling. His injuries were severe. The actor fractured his skull, scapula, and elbow, in addition to breaking 4 of his ribs, 3 vertebrae, and a partridge in a pear tree. The most recently injury occurred on August 16th, 2013, and where a dancer's leg got mangled after being caught in some machinery. I don't know. Sounds like you can go check that play out. Here about number 11, the crying boy painting. I gotta end the show though. This one about a crying boy. And number 12 was the curse of the dead man's chair, and number 13, the curse of Frank Sinatra. Do I have time for that? Probably not. What we got? Nope. Anyway, I got to end the show. I'll see you guys next week on Discovery Paranormal. Maybe I'll tell you what the hell happened in the curse of Frank Sinatra. Goodbye.